everyone. We're here with the JMU X Labs podcast. I'm Robin, and I'm joined here today by Helen. Helen?
Hi, I'm Helen.
That's Helen. That's all you need to know about her. This is your first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time. It's going to be a good time. And we're actually joined here by, and correct me if I'm wrong, Halee? Awesome. So, exactly who are you, Halee? Just for the people who don't know. I mean, I know quite a bit about you just because, we did our research on you, so to speak. But you mentioned you work for the Farmers Market, right?
Yes, my title is the interim manager for the Farmers Market. So I started the position in August when the previous two managers left, and I'm contracted until January, and then in January I'll have to apply again.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, so the first thing I was going to ask you is just, can you tell us a bit more about the Farmers Market you manage?
Yes, I'd love to. So I guess I'll start with our hours. So right now we're there for 2 days a week. We're there on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 8 to 1 in the Turner Pavilion, which is on Liberty Street right next to City Hall. And we're there Tuesday and Saturday until Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving we're only on Saturdays from 9 to 1. Yeah, and then I also just wanted to share our mission statement too. I think that explains a little bit more about what the market is and what it's about.
Of course.
So the mission is to provide the public with easy access to fresh, nutritious, locally produced agricultural goods and crafts of the highest quality, to assist local and regional farmers and other producers to directly market their products to the local consumer base, and to support environmental stewardship and community well-being.
Awesome. So could you elaborate maybe a little more on environmental stewardship? I like that term a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think the most obvious way this happens is through the food that's at the market. It's produced locally, and a lot of the farmers that are there selling produce use low spray, organic pesticides, and just better agricultural practices than we see in large-scale farming and monocrop cultures.
Awesome.
And then another thing we have is a community drop-off or community compost drop-off with Black Bear composting. So we have composting bins that are set up 24/7 that anyone can go and drop their compost off to.
Yeah, I think composting is great. It magically turns all the food wastes into very nutritious soil or fertilizer.
Yeah, so Halee, can you tell us how have you managed to maintain the farmers market present in Harrisonburg throughout the pandemic? We kind of know that this is kind of like a hard time for like any of us, so it would be great if you can share about that.
Yeah. So I started in August, so I kind of, I think I'm at the tail end of the height of the pandemic changes. But so when the pandemic hit, the market was closed for 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks, they were really scrambling to figure out what they were going to do because they didn't want to close. So what ended up happening was we had an online drive-through market, which also the X Labs helped us a lot with. And so we set up the online market. Customers could go and order from whatever vendor was willing to be on there, and then we would package all of those, and then they would drive through the parking lot next to the pavilion and pick up their produce. And so that was until the middle of June, and then markets were allowed to go back in person. So then we started our in-person market again. However, instead of facing the inside of the pavilion, we kind of flipped it outside. So now you walk around the outside of the pavilion to maintain physical distance. And then we're also asking people to wear masks. We still have the online market happening on Tuesday, so people can still order through that. And other than that, most people are coming in person and wearing masks, physical distancing. Yeah.
Awesome.
So luckily, we've been able to stay open and keep providing local goodies to all of the community. Yeah.
I love to hear it, honestly. And I actually really love hearing that you guys are keeping the online part, at least for part of the week.
Yeah.
I think it definitely contributes to, a little less crowds, a little less, just the numbers, driving down the numbers at any given moment. But, still being able to buy it is great. Is that something you guys think, or you think, that you'll want to keep for the farmers market going forward, even post-pandemic?
I think so, especially during the winter because it's freezing, especially in the pavilion. It gets so much colder underneath there.
Yeah.
And so we see a lot of customers, the number of people coming declines in the winter, I think, because of that. So I'm hoping that the online market will be a good chance for more people to be utilizing us as a resource for their groceries. Yeah.
That would be lovely. Honestly. Yeah. So, question number 3 for you. How does the farmers market fit into the Harrisonburg community? And what are some ways for students, JMU students, or, maybe if there's anyone else listening from the adjacent universities, students to connect with the farmers market?
Yeah, thank you. I think the way it fits into the community is, one, it's a great way for people to connect with their food and learn where it comes from, and also connect with local artisans and producers as well, and give them a chance to start a business and start their passions. A lot of people left a corporate job or were in a career that they didn't like and now are producing something that they're really passionate about, and the market has been a way for them to do that. So I think that's the way that we fit into the community, one way, and then I also think that it's a way for community members to come together and support those producers, and then also meet new people and see what's going on. And we also have a spot for any nonprofits to come to the market and spread their message as well. So that's another way that they're connecting. And then I think a great way for students to connect to the market is to just come. And there are also volunteer opportunities, whether that's with management at the market or with vendors there. And then also, we recently had the JMU RA program come and do blood pressure testing. So anything that students feel that would be a good addition to the market, or if they're working on something or need community outreach, whatever, the market is very open to having them there, and excited to have JMU students there or any students there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
Do you have any other experiences that you already have with JMU students who happen to work at a farmer market before?
Yeah, so I actually went to JMU. I graduated in 2018, and I was a volunteer at the market before my senior year. So that's kind of how I originally got connected to the market. And then currently we have 2 volunteers who are in the WRTC grad program, and they were major help when we started the online drive-through market, and they did a social media contract with us, and now they're just helping us out on Saturdays during the market.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So I was just going to ask, what are some of the coolest stories that you like to share with the audience? So anything you experienced while working at the farmers market, any sort of maybe ongoing things, anything you'd like?
Sure. I think one of my favorite things that the market does is that we accept EBT and SNAP, which is the supplemental nutrition program supplemental nutrition program. And so we have a grant that actually matches every dollar that someone in that program. So if they spend $10 from the SNAP, then we match $10. And right now, since the pandemic hit, the grant was able to match them for an unlimited amount. So $50, $100, whatever they decide. So it used to be that we would only match for up to $20.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that it's unlimited, I think that that's really great and something I love to share in making local food accessible to more people in the community.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah. And then something recently that happened that I thought was really cool was there was a family that came with a newborn baby, and their baby was 6 days old, and it was his first outing from the house. So I thought that it was really awesome that they decided to bring him to the farmers market for his first outing.
Yeah, I love hearing that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that you graduated from JMU in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say, what would be some advice that you'd give to students as they go on their journey postgraduate? You know, I think I know actually a few people I worked with here that graduated recently, and I think sometimes it's a little hard to you know, make to like get like a even footing and whatnot. You know.
Yeah. I think something that was helpful for me to hear is that things don't have to happen all at once, and to enjoy the times that you have and the way things are, if that makes sense. I think that I caught myself really, really worrying about what I was going to do after graduating and really not enjoying the moments that were in front of me during those times. And my dad gave me this advice when I was a first year, was don't plan too much, and to just kind of let life happen and be open to the opportunities that can be presented to you. So I think that that's my greatest advice, is to try to stay present in your life and to not worry so much about the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been very insightful. I value the fostering of communities, and it seems to me that that's what the farmers market does a lot and does really well. Kind of making sure that people, know about this, because I think a lot of people actually don't know about this, and I actually think that kids my age, in their early 20s, just in college still. I just moved off campus this year. It's actually really nice to have kind of a resource for fresh vegetables and whatever else may be, right? You guys probably carry way more than that.
Yeah,
it's definitely really cool to know that it's there. And we've been interviewing quite a few businesses and things such as the farmers market recently, part of an ongoing series actually. And I really appreciate Harrisonburg quite a bit more now that I know more about it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
it's very
amazing.
very I'm very appreciative of what you do and all the people involved.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing that. We're so open to having students at the market, and we would just love to see more of you there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Halee, we just only have one more question left for you. This is the questions about you and how you view management. So how has your your experiences at the farmer market somehow influenced your work, and how has it changed you?
I think I'm still figuring that out as I go. I'm still pretty new in the role, but I guess when I was a volunteer at the market, and even just attending the market before I was a volunteer, it was what inspired my passion for food and local food and seasonal food and sustainable food. So I just feel really really fortunate that has led me here, just attending there and then volunteering there, and I'm lucky that it's still in my life in this way. But as far as managing the market, I guess something that's been really important for me in the position is there are vendors who have been selling at the market for longer than I've been alive. So it's been important to me to meet people where they are and with their experiences, and to not ignore those, and know that I have so much to learn from them And it's not just about me going in and saying, you need to do this, 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 and this, but listening to what people have to say and what they want, and then being in supporting them in that and supporting them to become their best, and then supporting them in a way that allows them to do that, so that they aren't worrying about the little tiny things at the market. That's my job. Yeah, so I guess servant leadership has been a vital part of how I'm trying to manage the market. Yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you for joining us today, Halee.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a great time. I would like to give you an opportunity to maybe give a shout out to anything or anyone you want to mention again where people can find the farmers market online and also in person. You mentioned it's right next to the City Hall. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's right next to City Hall. It's on Liberty Street. It's a big pavilion. It's across from the Ice House as well. Maybe more people know where that is.
Oh, yeah, the lovely Ice House. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're open right now on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 8 to 1, and after Thanksgiving we'll be there just on Saturdays from 9 to 1. You can find us at harrisonburgfarmersmarket.com, and then we also have an Instagram, also Harrisonburg Farmers Market, and then you can find us on Facebook as well. And then at the market we have a sign-up sheet to put your email down to be subscribed to our newsletter, which is sent out every Friday just for vendor updates and recipes and other things happening at the market. What else? And then I do want to shout out our two JMU volunteers, Laura Siegel and Lacey Knight. They've been such a help to us, and we really, really appreciate them. And also all the JMU students who are already utilizing the market. We really appreciate you.
Awesome. That was very awesome. I appreciate your time.
Thank you
so much for taking the time and talking to us. I can definitely tell you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I would love to pay the farmers market a visit. Who knows?
Yes,
maybe it's
do.
even going to be, this week, I think.
Yeah.
Saturday would be great. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Halee. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That was Halee from the farmers market. It was great talking to her. Shared a lot of insight. You can tell we should all go to the farmers market and all support the locally grown, sustainable vegetables and everything else. I know you can buy honey at a farmer's market and probably a bunch of other stuff I can't even fathom.
Well, stay farmer market, stay fresh. And looking forward to our next podcast.
You heard it first, people. Stay farmer's market, stay fresh.